Hey there, welcome back to the Motherhood Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Tatiana Kranja, and today I'm joined by Wanjiru Mukii. Before we get into it, I'd just like to thank Ashley Furniture Home Store for sponsoring this podcast. Wanjiru, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm so excited to have you here today, and thank you so much for being my first panelist, I guess.
I'm nervous.
I know, I can tell.
Take it slowly.
You and me both. Before we get into it, I just want to, there's something that you've mentioned on my Instagram, and I think it's like gone viral, and I think this is where we should begin today.
Please don't say
Yeah, I think we do need to. NGO work.
Yes, I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
Did
Can
it
you
for a lot of
explain
years.
that?
Basically, I'm a single mom to two beautiful girls. One is 18 and one is 7. I did a lot of NGO work in regards to the relationship I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure when I get to heaven, God will have ticked all those boxes. So yeah, I did a lot of NGO work, and I think us as ladies just need to say it how it is.
Amen.
We gave back to society, the community,
Yep.
money, time, emotion, fuel.
Yeah. You did it all.
Everything, yes.
You and me both, honestly.
Yeah.
So just to give a bit of background about where I met Wanjiru, Motherhood Unplugged started as a community on Instagram, and I would host these events. And Wanjiru reached out as she was working at 020 at the time, and you were like, yeah, can we host one of the events here? And I remember doing it, and it was one of the events that didn't go quite as well as what I was hoping. And I learned a lot from it, but ever since then, we've become friends, and you have been doing my events ever since. So we've hosted 2 this year.
Yes.
That went so well. We had the Mum Boss, and then the other one where it was Motherhood Unboxed. And
Yes.
basically, these events are all about letting mums come and feel like there's a sense of community, getting to be heard, seen.
A safe space.
A safe space for mums. And I thought a natural continuation of that obviously would be this podcast. So this is why I'm so excited to have you here today, because firstly, you have no filter. So I am just like really excited.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, like even right now, this is the quietest you've ever been. And also we've grown to become really good friends. In fact, she's one of my best friends, if I do say so. And one of the things I really admire about you is just your resilience. You're a single mom like me, and so I really understand some of the things that you go through. However, your journey is a little bit different than mine. So yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your journey as a single mom and, you know, your kids and yeah.
Well, I got pregnant when I was 21.
Wow.
So my daughter, firstborn, has just started university. So that has been
Amazing.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
A long journey, but an amazing one at the same time. My secondborn, who is 7, is special needs. She has mild CP, and that was a new journey into motherhood, and also a new journey into understanding disability.
Yeah.
It has been a roller coaster. It continues to be, because it doesn't stop.
Yeah. Doesn't stop. Mhm.
But I can't complain.
Yeah.
That's the thing. As in, I think it's made me who I am now today. It's made me the hustler that you find me.
Amen. You and me both.
So I like that, and it's
Yeah.
given me a positive outlook on life. So that's my journey in small bits.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, in fact, my mom says that all the time, because obviously even I'm here with my 3 kids, but she'll still say it doesn't end. She'll look at me straight in the eye and be like, you think it ends?
You, first of all, you on social media, you look like you do it with ease.
Oh.
With the 3
Oh,
kids.
no.
I'm like, wow, what?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
You do it with ease.
I think I get home every day and I'm like, I can't believe I have to do this all over again. Like, it's really crazy. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you're balancing, motherhood and taking care of your kids as a single mama.
One of the things about me, I'm very organized. I don't work without lists.
Yeah.
2, I keep time for everything and anything. I hate being late, because then it spoils every other part of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm a person of structure. I like structure, and that's also how I'm bringing up my kids to understand this is the formation of the day. This is how we do things. I'm also learning to let go a bit of my 18-year-old, which has been a big struggle.
I can imagine.
I don't.
Please expand on that, because I am genuinely so worried. The way I'm going right now with my 7-year-old who's almost 18, I feel like it's a very slippery slope. So yeah, how are you handling that?
I'm giving her space, but I'm still in her space. I don't know if that makes sense, but I want to be her shadow. Like, I've dropped her at uni now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so do I pick you up? And she's like, no. I'll find my way home. And I'm like, sorry? I'm so
She doesn't need you. She doesn't need you anymore.
she's like, just please let go. Just, I'll be fine. But I'm trying my best, and it's a struggle and a journey, and I don't know, it just takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
And we're just getting used to our new normal. So yeah.
Yeah, I like how you've talked about structure, because I think that's one thing in my parenting journey that I learned a little late. Like, I always used to be like, no, we need to just go with the flow, and, you know, and while that's, you know, you need to be able to, what is it? Like, you need to be able to pivot. Having structure is so important in your life.
important.
Just to help your day run smoothly, to make sure that you're also getting home and you're like a good mood to see your kids. And
It also prepares, like, my oldest.
Yeah.
She sees my structure and she's like, wow, I need to be a list person. I need
Yeah.
to be organized like this. It just, you have to be, just to get things done a certain time and get them done hopefully right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so I guess, like, let's talk about the fact that, you know, we kind of are currently doing everything on our own. So yeah, I would like to discuss a little bit more about how that happened, if you don't mind sharing, obviously.
So for people who do maths well will realize there are 2 baby daddies.
Okay.
So my first baby daddy is such a strong word. I really just want to go to sperm donor.
Sperm donor.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
feel like
also-
baby daddy puts like it gives them something. No.
Yeah.
Sperm donor. He came into my life, wooed me, confused me, and there was Abriana born, and he disappeared into.
That's so interesting, hey, because like we feel so loved, and then suddenly you're left with a baby alone in this world to like figure everything out.
Yeah. So I went back. I was back to my parents, starting from scratch and persevering on.
Yeah.
And then a few years later,
You got wooed again.
I got wooed again by 002. He was there. We actually lived together after I gave birth. But as I mentioned, my second born is special needs.
Yeah.
And I truly believe for you to get a special needs parent, you also have to have the special gene to be able to take care of that child.
Because looking after kids on their own is
already
very
a tough
challenging.
journey. Yeah. So I don't think he was mentally prepared for it. Let's not talk about financially.
Yeah.
Mentally, he wasn't prepared for it. So I moved out and just went on with life.
Yeah.
I will say the male figure that has stuck is my dad. I mean this in the positive light that it is. He's an amazing grandfather to my daughters.
Amazing.
He can go beyond, above. My mother also the same, amazing grandmother to my daughters. And then there are my siblings who come through whenever they're called upon. So that's my village that assists me to take care. But also another thing about motherhood, even when you have that village, you're still doing it alone.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I've just gotten used to. And I can't complain. I mean, it's been a tough journey, but a happy one.
Yeah, so I think like it's really interesting how you brought up that, you know, as much as you have a support system, because much like you, my dad is at my house every single day without fail, you know?
I feel like your dad, his photo with your guka should be on a shirt.
I should wear a shirt.
Yeah, there has to be a shirt, like the men we want to see.
Don't I talk about them enough?
No, I feel like we can. I mean, I've talked to your dad and your guka. Chilled out guys. I like them.
Yeah, they're amazing. So just like you, that's my support system. Firstly, I'm really happy Olive, Mali, and Nova, they have like a man in their life that's constant and can, you know, I don't know. I feel like there's a way in which a man brings up kids in a different way. And I'm really glad that they get to have that with my dad. And just also know that they're always supported and loved.
Yeah.
Same, I have the best grandma and my sister, and like even my best friends who just really know, you know, they'll take time to include my kids in things, whereas, you know, just general friends won't really understand that. So my friends really like, where should we go today? Oh, we'll go somewhere with kid friendly, or please feel free to bring your kids over to the house party, or, you know, whatever it is, like they'll be very accommodating. So I'm really grateful for that. But just like you said, you still go through this alone as much as there are people there. And that's an interesting, because, you know, every time I talk about single parenting online, there are people that attack me for several things. And I think one of the things is, yeah, but you have your dad there and you have your sister helping you out. And it's not the same as having a partner go through everything with you. You know, it's like mental maths every day of what are they going to eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, who's going to pick them up for their activity, just like generally everything. Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay for their school fee? Yeah, that one. That one is the big, yeah. So I feel like not a lot of people understand that. As much as you have some supportive people around you, like it's very difficult to go through it alone.
I think also with that in mind, when you have a special needs child, it's very, like my parents, my siblings, I myself and her sister, we've had to understand my daughter different.
Yeah.
She's 7, she hasn't yet walked, but she's on the way there. There's a bottle of champagne waiting to be popped. But she is the most talkative. And the doctor said, oh, she probably won't talk.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I have to make sure whatever is on the screen, because she's become a tape recorder. Because right now in the house, it's mandamano. I'm like, oh God. Even if the TV is not on, obviously you have people with their phones, they're talking about it. She's on it, she listens.
Yeah.
And I think the toughest part about that side of motherhood is that I have to pull friends to see how it is. And you only can pull friends when they're interested.
Yeah.
Because taking care of a child, people can think it's just let's put the child on the playground and we're good to go. And for me, it doesn't work like that. My eyes have to be there. I have to know that she's not feeling left out, that we are including her in everything. Even if she doesn't have the mobility, are we keeping her together with us?
Yeah.
So I have friends, very few, few friends that come into that circle and are willing to learn. And I have cousins who have also decided to put themselves in that circle.
Amazing.
Which is godsend.
And yeah, so in the same breath, are there people that have let you down on this journey?
You know, the funniest thing is they say that certain situations in life, you lose friends or you gain friends. When I got pregnant twice, I lost friends a lot.
Yeah.
When I came out on social media and I said that my daughter is special needs, I lost more friends. Yeah. I don't even know why I'm calling them friends. I lost acquaintances, people, human beings. But then I gained other friends. Yeah. I gained people who were able to tell me, go to this doctor, do this. I'm in a group for special need parents where it's constant communication. If you find yourself medication-wise, people just advising, go to this doctor, do this. But friends I lost. Yeah, and I think it was a hidden gift.
Yeah,
because
for the better.
Now I just don't need to waste my time with you. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Even when I find you on the streets and I see you, I'm going to say hi. But I know that's where it ends.
Yeah. I think it's really great to have also those healthy boundaries, because even like you, I lost a lot of friends. But I also then came to realize like they weren't really my friends, you know. It was like a lot of people that you would go partying with. You stop getting those calls because you can't go and do that. You know, I was also quite young when I got pregnant with Olive.
How old were you? Tell us.
25.
25. Still in the
25. 20s. I was still in that. I had all of them in the 20s, apart from Nova. Yeah.
And he wooed you. He wooed you how many times? 3.
And I kept going. You know. Anyway, I wouldn't take it back. I have the 3 most adorable babies. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did. And, you know, I think some of my closest friends are like, how did you...
There's that moment of silence. Every time I talk to you about how you went back, there's always, you do this.
Yeah. Just a deep breath of just knowing. Because I remember even my friends used to talk to me about it. And, you know, I think they were also tired. And the excuses that used to come out of my own mouth.
That's where the NGO work comes in.
There we go.
I'm telling you, it just happens.
Please just tell me some of the most embarrassing NGO works that you've been through. That's what I'd like to hear.
Oh, wow. So we gathered ourselves for Christmas, right? It's Christmas Day. We've decided to book ourselves a nice Christmas lunch out in Kajiado.
Wow.
Drive. Who put fuel? Hands up, right? Drove. Swimming, get the kids in the pool. Remember, I have both my daughters plus my 002.
Yep.
And myself.
Yeah.
We order food, we're eating. I was shocked because I'm taken out.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm saying I'm taken out and I put fuel.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay.
I took them out.
Yeah.
When the bill came, you know, I'm waiting for a Kadil quiver. You pay and I'll refund. I was like, sorry? We came all this way, Kajiado, where there are Maasais, to eat proper meat. and you don't have the funds. And my daughter looked at me and she was like, Mom, I was like, And God was tapping me on my shoulder. He was, calm down. The devil on the other side was like, give it to him.
Give it to
him.
him.
I paid the bill. We got home. He had the audacity to take my car, my fuel, and go out.
After you just... Okay.
What money was he going out with if you didn't have money to pay for lunch?
Wow.
Like, make it make sense. And the worst thing is, I can look at it now like this and say, make it make sense.
Yeah.
At that time, I was like, oh, babe.
Yeah.
The deal will come through.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, same. One thing, the thing that I learned about that is don't ever believe somebody's potential. You know, don't believe in that potential. Just face value.
But I believe the words and not the actions.
Yeah.
So that was one.
Yeah.
Oh, there was another
There were
one.
many.
Oh, there were many. We moved house. I decided I'm going to stop paying rent. So I told him we need to move house. He agreed. On the rent document, my details were all put. So every month, I'm like, why are you calling me for rent? That's not the person paying rent. It's this guy. Ah, no, madam, your name was put. I told the guy, bring the document. I changed. We moved on. Second month, this guy would wake up early in the morning to go to the farm. The farm.
To do what at the farm?
He was farming.
Oh, while you had to take care of the bill?
Yeah,
Of the
so
rent.
he's farming at the farm, right? We're all assuming he's farming at the farm, right? No, there's that gut that tells you something's off. So I decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to take the day off. What are we going to do? Go
Follow
to the
him.
farm.
Amen.
We went together to the farm. I was told there's skooma, there's nyanyas. Wapi. There was one cow. Wow. I was like, where the greens, and then the funny thing is that you leave early in the morning, but you come back late, but there's no electricity on the farm.
So what is he doing there all day?
He wouldn't even get there. He would call and see if everything is okay, but he would hang out the whole day with his boys.
Honestly,
NGO work again.
yeah.
So I think that's when I just called my dad. I was like, so, me, I'm done. What's up?
Yeah.
My dad was like, no, come home.
Yeah.
And the one thing the biggest hurt that I got from leaving that person is the words they told me when I was leaving.
Which is what?
I can go make more children.
Oh my God.
And he stood by his word. And I found out he had a child 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. But let me not lie to you. You will not sleep soundly knowing that you don't take care of this one.
That is insane. Sometimes it's despicable.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so can you tell me how you felt hearing those words? Like if you were to go back to that day.
When I was told he has another child.
Yeah, he can make other kids.
He can make other children.
Yeah.
It was a breakdown. I was like, making children is not a sport. Because my friend, first of all, he would have an Olympic gold medal. But apart from that, it takes emotions.
Yeah.
And the thing is, my oldest daughter had that comment. And I felt bad, but it was what I needed to hear to
get
know
out.
that I'm never going backwards.
Yeah.
Like, let's just let it go, let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you were, ending things, is it something that did you consider how your kids would feel? Because I know for me, for example, one of the things that kept me in that relationship was just thinking that how the kids would not grow up with a dad and, how I'd mess them up with...
No,
You
I
didn't? That's amazing.
The thing is, I come from, my parents are divorced.
Yeah.
And I know there's this tradition that women think, oh, if I leave, what will my kids think? What will society? I was like, no. The door is open.
Yeah.
Like, screw this. We just gotten our daughter diagnosed with CP, so I know she needed me more than this NGO did. No.
Yeah.
I spoke to my oldest daughter, who I've always been very honest with her, very open with her. And she was like, yeah, let's go. When do I start packing?
Wow. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. For a lot of moms, I mean, a lot of people that I speak to, and I get a lot of DMs even up to date, and they're always just like, I'm going through a really rough time. I have a really toxic partner. I don't know how to leave. Like, I don't know if I'm going to mess my kids up. And I think that's a really big factor of why women keep staying in a toxic relationship.
But can I ask you, I mean, you left.
Yeah.
Can you look at the two scenarios when you were there just for keeping the family together, and now when you're burning sausages in the morning?
No, honestly, I get home sometimes and I genuinely cannot even picture my ex being at home. Like, I get home and there's literally not a problem. Well, I mean, there's always problems. Like, I get home and there are always things broken.
Yes.
Apart from that, I don't also have NGO work. I'm not always told like lies. Just this thing about weekend. I'm just so much more at peace, and
I
I'm
think
so
it
happy.
opens up the window for opportunities to come.
100%.
So you just wait.
But then it takes some time. Like, for me, it took a lot of time to get there. I mean, it took me three kids in. I was pregnant with my third, and I was like, enough is enough, and I just now need to concentrate on myself, and that was the best decision.
It's funny when you say I was pregnant with my third, and then I remember your photo shoot, bump photos, beautiful.
Were they? Were they? Thank you. But yeah, no, I think it's really challenging for other moms to go through it. So maybe if you had any, words of encouragement, because for me, I think it's really difficult at the time you're in that relationship to not think about your kids. So would you have any advice for a mom who needs to leave a toxic relationship?
Leave.
That's
Your
it.
2 legs work.
Amen. Just go.
You'll think about those things ahead. You'll think about the money, you'll think about the support. But what are you getting when you stay? Sleepless nights, you don't know where this person is, you don't know if they're fooling around with Tom, Dick, and Jugona.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
me, I want a peace. Do you know how I slept so nicely the first night I moved out? I literally locked my door and slept. I didn't need to think about anyone coming, ding dong,
Yeah.
I'm home.
Late nights,
No.
where are they? Messaging their friends.
Entering
Yeah.
my bed smelling like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no. Please, if you have the 2 legs,
Go.
leave.
Yeah, no, I would say the same thing. And I think to add on to that, I would say a happier mom is what's most important for your kids. In fact, I think there's a statistic that says the only person that you need is a really happy mom to be able to thrive, or a happy parent.
Yeah.
So you don't need 2 parents for your kids to thrive in life. And of course, as long as you're happy, even if you're apart, you can make things work and your kids would be a lot happier than staying in this toxic environment. It's really toxic for your kids as well. They feed off that energy. It's just not a good, it's actually worse for your kids. So
And I don't think any kid wants to see their mom like breaking down
every day.
Every day, because some NGO did not come home.
Yeah.
Or came home and they're in bed.
I also remember my parents fighting all the time, and that was really hard for me to see all the time. So
I actually think my parents became happy when they
split
parted,
up.
Yeah, parted ways. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I actually have this nightmare. It reoccurs where I find my parents getting remarried to each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is not nice.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, please don't.
Yeah.
So even when we have like family functions and they must be there, I always do a structure of time on when my mom can enter this time, my dad can enter this time.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see them together.
Yeah,
no,
same.
no.
It doesn't work for me either.
It doesn't, no, that's a lot.
But then, speaking about your parents, when you broke up, now your second baby daddy, I mean, like, talking to your parents about it, did you not feel some type of way? Because I remember feeling, I don't know, I feel like everyone around me knew it, and I was fighting so hard for my relationship to work. And it's somehow like embarrassing to be able to come out with, yeah, we actually did split up, and these are the reasons why. In fact, to date, I'm not going into details about like what happened, because I'm already so embarrassed about that whole situation and the fact that I kept going back. I know we don't need to be, genuinely, like, it's not our fault, but I just feel like I listened to so many excuses, and everyone around me knew. So coming now to tell my parents, like, actually, I feel like I failed somehow.
The thing about me, when I'm upset, I don't know how to keep quiet. Like, if I need someone to listen, I will just put it on the table and I'll be like, this is what is happening to me right now.
Yeah.
So a few weeks before I'd actually moved out, I went to my mom and she was just like, I don't know what the problem is. Like, just call your father. I mean, he has a whole compound. Just call him. And I was so nervous to call my dad. Yeah. But we had become so close after my second born was born that I called him for lunch. And he was like, please don't tell me you're pregnant. I was like, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can call you for a lunch?
Yeah.
He was like, please, please. I was like, no, but I would like to move out. And he picked up the phone and he was like, tengeneza hiyo nyumba, Wanjiru anarudi. One day, are you coming back? And I was just like, wow, no questions asked, no nothing.
Yeah.
He said if I want to try and make it work, he's happy to facilitate that. But I told him, no, I'm good.
Yeah, you're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
But I always wonder, we are embarrassed to speak about what happened in the relationship. What about these NGOs? What do you think they say?
I feel like they're just out there lying about what happened. I don't know. Personally, I just couldn't even care less
I
at
would
the
love
moment.
to find out. I would love to find out what they say. Like, oh yeah, she was really nice to me, so I decided to leave. Or she woke up and I found the kids had been taken. Or
Yeah,
like,
I
what-
honestly feel like, for me, I felt like that is the case. Because how surely can this person not be in your kids' lives? And then they're just out there in the world. And of course, to just save face, they must be like, you know, yeah, she
just got
doesn't,
up
she's
and
difficult. She doesn't want me to see the kids. Or,
Oh, I think that's probably
yeah,
what he says.
100%.
I-
We are
I
definitely
wish you could
the...
spice up the story a bit more. Like, I mean, make me sound like I did something, like, you know, I did something big. Don't make the story so boring, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
As I absolutely love these seats. The fabric, the pattern, it also feels so soft. I absolutely love them. And in my ideal world, I'd have like this sophisticated home, like office space with these couches, this painting. In fact, like this entire setup is exactly what I'd want for my home office space.
So yeah, what are some of the challenges you faced being a single mom? And also, to add on to that, how did you find out your daughter has CP?
So, let me
Backtrack.
So, when I get pregnant, I become diabetic.
Oh wow, okay.
So this is not something I had the knowledge of. So I didn't know. So anyway, when I went into labor, it was a C-section. So they removed her from me and she sounded like a puppy. She didn't cry, she didn't do anything. They tried reviving her and they got her to have like a small breath and then they took her away. The next day, the nurse comes and she's like, you need to come now. And she gives me her phone and she's like, call whoever you need to call. And I call my NGO and I'm like, yeah, where are you? I'm sleeping. I'm like, please, can you just get up and come? So he comes and I tell her, please, can I make one more call? I call my dad. He also is on the way. So when I go to what do they call the ward for the kids? The nursery, but it's now she's in a incubator. Yeah, she's in an incubator. All the plugs are on her. She's breathing on her own at that time. And the doctor is explaining to me the issue of the sugar dropping, so she's not reacting to that well, and she was 4.7 kgs.
Wow.
Oh, she was a nice bundle of joy, nice and fat.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then she stopped breathing. There and then. And the way you hear Grace, dee, yeah. So they threw me out. And this guy came and picked me from the floor. He was a pastor. Till today, I've never seen him again. And he said a prayer with me. He got me a bottle of water and he left. And a doctor comes out and says, we've revived her.
Oh wow.
I'm like, okay, but you can't keep her at this hospital. She'll die. He was like, you need to look for another hospital. At that time, I turn like this and I see my dad. And he comes and I'm like, she died, but now she's here. And my dad is like, what? Don't talk like that. I'm like, the doctor is like, yeah, literally what she said is what happened. Do you know, to get your child out of one hospital, to take her to another, you need at least 1 million shillings. Wow. Where was I getting 1 million shillings? I looked at my dad, I was like, where, like, how? And the only hospital that could take her was Mpisha.
Wow.
So my dad went and talked, him being the lawyer that he is, he talked her in and she was put in Mpisha for 18 days.
Wow.
I couldn't hold her. I couldn't touch her. Just seeing her in the little thingy. And after 18 days, when they gave her to me for the first time ever, they're like, yeah, you can take her home. She's breathing on her own. And I asked them, will there be any damage since she died twice? They were like, no, she should be fine. When your mother instinct tells you there will be a problem, it came when she was about 1. She would sit at the corner of a couch and just swing back and forth. And I would call her name and she would never turn. But she's giving you eye contact, but this is all that she does. And there was one specific ball that she had that she just kept playing with, and it was pink and yellow, and she loved the sound, but that was it. And I told NGO guy, there's something wrong, like she's not reaching her milestones. And he kept on brushing it off. And I was like, you know what? I know you don't want to go do these tests because it calls for money. We're going to go do the damn tests. Putting a child of 1 year through an MRI, you have to be still. So she had to be put to sleep. Was the worst thing ever. Then getting her hearing to see if she can be able to hear, and her eyes. That's when now we got the results from the MRI, and they're like, her motor skills, where she's supposed to now start reaching for things and walking, she's not. And it's cerebral palsy, and she needs to start doing this and this and this. Getting that like information, I want to say it's the worst day, but it isn't, because when you watch your child die, it's the worst day. I knew she'd still be there. So it was just me now getting the information that I needed. So one of the biggest challenges of not only being a single mom, but being a single mom to a CP is, one, finance. In this country, if you don't have a certain amount of money, shit doesn't happen. And that's the worst part. 2 is having the money, but putting it with the wrong people. Because someone will tell you, I'm able to help your child do this. I've wasted a year on therapy with one doctor and nothing. And I'm like, really? Like, you just kept on coming, eating my money, and you're not giving me results.
Yeah.
Another thing is finding a group that actually listens and understands what you're going through. I don't mean offense, you're a single mom, but if I come to you as a single CP mom, you won't understand shit what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So finding that community, I found a community, and they threw me out of the WhatsApp group.
Why?
Because I started asking questions. Like, I wanted a teacher to come teach her, homeschool her, and I realized the teacher is not certified, doesn't know what they're doing, and I put it on blast on the WhatsApp group. You're removed. Where do you find another community?
Wow.
And then people don't like talking about having a child with disability. I've had one auntie call me and say, you know, in Kikuyu tradition, what you're supposed to do is take the child to shags and you leave them there. If you ask your friends, when they go to shags for a funeral or a wedding, you will find someone with disability, a grown-up, who has been left in shags.
That's devastating.
So, because they look at it like a curse.
Yeah.
So they're like, you put your child out there, you put her on social media, you talk about her achievements, you talk about her milestones. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, why would I get so excited when I see, like, when you, like, she's taken her first step and I'm just there like, this is amazing, I'm so excited for you.
Do you know how many people are waiting for me to, I specifically keep talking. I have a bottle of champagne in the house that has been there for the last 3 years, waiting to be popped when she starts walking by herself. Right now she can walk with aid.
Yeah.
So I keep telling her, my friend, it's about that time, yeah?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll give you a trip to Coast when you start walking by yourself.
Amen. And I'll if you
You're-
need me,
you're-
I'm with you there.
No, if you can get us one of those paid for vacations.
I got you. I got you.
NGO Work.
Yeah. But then, as you're talking about that, is it something that you think about all the time? Because I know you said earlier that you don't mind people asking questions, but you mind the stares. So is that something that you get a lot of? I mean, is it something that you're very aware of when you leave the house, or?
You have to take into consideration where you're going. People I'm beautiful, people stare at me. Thank you.
Amen. No, it's true. It's fact.
But now when you stare at a child,
Yeah.
and then it gets to the uncomfortable space, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I go to certain places where they already know her because we just keep going there repeatedly because she's comfortable with the space, and so are the people comfortable having her there. Certain spaces just don't like people with disability.
Wow.
They're not. It's not a bad thing. It's something that we need to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming anyone when I see someone saying like, oh well, we don't have this chair for her to sit in, or it's only stairs, there's no ramp.
Yeah, that's actually crazy to me because in fact the only time I realized that when I was pushing Nova with a wheelchair, with it was
stroller.
Olive with a wheelchair. She broke her leg.
Yes.
So yeah, I could only put the only place that was like giraffe center, and that's when I noticed actually there's
There
nowhere
are a lot
that
of
has
places that you'll find it's stairs. Some places it's stairs up. She can't go stairs up.
Yeah.
So maybe stairs down is easier, but it's still a struggle for us.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that when I leave the house, if I'm going with her alone, then it should be a short distance.
Yeah.
And somewhere we've been before. So I know even when I'm parking, like parking in a disability, if you don't have the sticker, they're like, nani ako na shida kwa gari?
Yeah.
I'm like, would I make it up to park in a disability, get out of the car and just...
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see the disability when I get out of the car.
Yeah.
Now people, where they're familiar with me, they know. They'll just remove it and they'll let me park.
Right.
But, wow, in this, people staring and just not... Ask me questions, I have no problem.
Yeah. And what would you say for people with kids? For example, like I know Olive and Mali, you know, they might be very curious as to like what's going on. So what would you say, like what would your advice be to educate kids on, you know, how to behave around kids with disabilities or kids that are different than them? Would you have advice for advice for a parent to educate their kids on like how to behave and, you know?
We found a school for Amelia at the beginning of this year. It's called Acorn.
Yeah.
They have special needs children.
Yeah.
And they have children.
Yeah.
They integrate them.
Wow.
And I found it's easier. Like I got my oldest daughter to do some volunteer work, and she's like, the integration in that school makes a difference. I know sometimes my friends who have kids, they fear because some children who have CP are violent. My daughter is not violent. She's loud like me.
Yeah.
And she
It's
likes
bound to happen either way.
And she likes laughing and all that.
Yeah.
So get your kids around children with disability. Let them know they're different children.
Yeah.
I think it makes for a good conversation.
Yeah.
And it makes them know that when I grow up and I'm somewhere and there's someone with a disability, I don't have to stare. Can I help them?
Yeah.
Can I do something? Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, because I'm constantly trying to teach my kids about, you know, how to fare in this world, and that's a conversation that's come up several times. I mean, I think just like anything, I just want them to be very accepting and loving to people of all walks of life. So I think that's a really interesting...
I don't know if you remember, there was a day you called me and you were on speakerphone and Amelia was in the background. Bah, 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 bah. And you were like, it's so nice to hear that your kid is as loud as mine.
Mine, yeah, because it's always mine on the phone. And they find me when I'm on the phone. You know, like before that, no one has found me.
Oh,
suddenly
please.
I pick up the phone and they're like, Mom! And I'm like, sure, like... it's quite hectic. So I guess just like you, I think the financial part of being a single parent already for me is just food generally it's insane.
Do you
how much I have
remember
to
me
feed.
texting you and ask you, do the kids need to eat?
They're always eating.
They need food, they need clothes.
School, yeah.
School, I'm like, really?
So-
we didn't do this a
Yeah.
few weeks ago? Like today, I was paying bills. It's 1st of July. I was like, you know what? Let me be that good boss. Let me pay my bills on time. And I saw my balance. I was like, why?
Yeah, why do we have to do this every single day? But then,
But where
what
would
does
I
it-
take the money, Tatiana?
on a holiday? Personally, I would take it on a
This
holiday.
is the
I don't
thing.
know.
You see, God is never going to... You see, us will take ourselves on holiday. We'll be bored on that holiday because
True.
we like being occupied by these little humans
True.
hanging on to us.
True.
No.
But every time I see my friends traveling, you know, they're constantly around the world. And I was like, I would be doing this if I didn't have 3 children. I would be so far. I would just,
So I
would never
wouldn't
see
be
me.
on this couch right
No,
now?
yeah, you know what? You see, a blessing in disguise. Let me just say, it's a blessing in disguise. But what does the cost look like for you as you have, an extra set of costs to take care of? What does that look like?
So last year she was doing homeschooling and therapy separate. And therapy for 1 hour session, 2,500.
Wow.
And she cannot have less than 3
Sessions
in
a
the week.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you're doing less than 3, then the guy just told me there's no improvement you're going to see.
Yeah.
The homeschooling in itself was another 4,000. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to find a school.
Yeah.
And I started looking for schools. And when I found this school she's in right now,
Yeah.
Econ, they have the therapy and the school together.
Amazing.
So she does 3 times a week in school therapy. They also have swimming, but I'm not yet there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I baby steps for me.
Yes.
So that at least has made sense. Obviously, in a month, it's over 100.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's just now catering for her, herself, and her needs, her medication, because she's on constant medication every day. So, but I can't be mad. Like, there's always a door that has opened and provided. I can't be mad.
I love
can't
that.
be
You know, that's
mad.
one thing I really love about you. You're like constantly positive, despite just like whatever life has
Have
to
you
throw at
seen
you.
the world? If
I know.
I open Instagram, it's negative enough.
Yeah.
I need to smile. I need to laugh at things.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bowl of wine doesn't hurt to
I
get that
agree.
in there.
I agree with you.
I mean,
agree with
it's
that.
what I ordered today.
Enjoy your coffee.
Sips tea.
Amazing. And then, you know, if there was one thing that you could do differently or change throughout your motherhood journey, what would it be? Or maybe there isn't anything at all. Do you regret anything?
I have a few regrets,
Okay.
but they're not regrets that would change what has happened.
Okay.
Because I really feel like I was chosen to be their mother.
I
Totally.
wholeheartedly believe that.
It's not the other way around. I was chosen to be their parent. I would do things a bit differently in regards to the relationships I've had, jobs I've had, but with my 2 cheerleaders, my supporters, no.
Amazing. Oh, Wanjiru, we got a tear from you. Oh,
I could ask you the same question.
Is there anything I would change?
Yeah.
Also, nothing that would really change the way things are, because obviously, you know, if I didn't have the kids, I would say I wish, you know, I chose a more present partner, I'd say, because I think the one thing, stop crying, because you're making me cry. I think the one thing I would want, I obviously want my kids to have a dad in their life, you know, I think it's really important. And they ask about him every day. So I wish I chose a partner that was present for them. Why are you doing this? But, you know, ultimately, yeah, I'm really happy with where we're at, and I think we're doing a really good job, and I'm proud of us, you know? We're killing it, despite like all these challenges. So
Despite our NGOs.
despite that, and despite the kids maybe not having what like a traditional family setting looks like, I think like we're doing a really good job. The kids are where they're supposed to be, and they're happy, they're loved, and I think that's the most important thing.
setup for traditional family is really changing.
Exactly.
So,
There's no
yeah.
such thing as a traditional family setup anymore.
and you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. So are you.
Trust you me, I stalk you enough to know that.
Thank you.
I can't believe
Yeah.
it.
You never cry. I'm just like, we did it. And have you guys experienced the Ashley mattresses and pillows? Honestly, there's no better quality sleep than on an Ashley mattress. And have you seen all the amazing furniture they have as well? Bedside tables, bedding, you know, the backboards, everything. It's actually really gorgeous furniture. If you're looking for a bed, this is where you should come. So when you're feeling like that, how do you get yourself out of the dark moments?
I think as mothers, we fail to be selfish.
Facts.
So
So true.
I have no problem taking myself out.
Wow.
I have no problem saying, I'm coming back. I just need a me moment.
Yeah.
I have no problem spending something on myself.
Yeah.
I love my selfish moments.
I love that for you because I
Yeah.
think for a lot of mums it's very difficult. Like that mum guilt is so, even for me, for
Yeah.
example, for today, shooting our podcast, I think even then my mind is as soon as I'm going straight to my kids because it's like I can't.
I've
and-
derailed you enough times when you've told me, oh, I'm going home. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Let's
Turn
spend
around,
some- yeah.
let's meet up.
And I
So,
think, for
it's
me it's to call
important.
you,
Yeah.
actually. When I'm going through something tough, I'm like, Wanjiru.
Are you a, okay, you've just labeled me as the biggest derailer. I take it.
No, I take it. Okay, cool. That's not, yeah.
No, I am the biggest derailer.
Yeah, no, but it's, I think when I call you, you actually give me this like support from, it's just because you just don't have, you don't judge me at all, and I think it's really nice to be able to call you and you're somebody that has been through the similar things as me, because you touched on it earlier actually
Yeah.
when you said you need to find that group of people who can understand you, and you're somebody that can understand me. As much as I have some really amazing best friends outside of you, also my best friend, and my parents and all of that kind of stuff, like there's no one who really gets me, so I'm able to call you and just kind of talk it out, which really makes me
Just
feel a lot
selfish
better.
moment. It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt anyone. I mean, where are they going to go? You will still find them there.
Yeah,
Breaking stuff,
yeah. as
laughing
usual.
about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so yeah.
Amazing. Wanjiru, I feel like one of the things I'd love to talk about is postpartum depression. And I'd just like to understand if you maybe have gone through it, because I think it's one of the topics in Kenya that's quite taboo for some reason, when it's, something that a lot of mums go through, and it's quite natural and it's quite normal. But I'd just like for us to touch on that a little bit and maybe to see what it was like for you if you did go through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I went through it.
Yeah.
I feel
With
like
both?
when you also went through it.
Yeah. No, I'm saying with both you do.
No.
Oh.
Can I say with both? No, it was actually with my firstborn.
Okay.
Being at the young age. And then I think when you're doing all these maternal classes or appointments, they don't tell you about that.
Yeah.
People assume because you're a woman, you get pregnant, you're going to be instantly in love with your child.
Yeah.
You're going to be instantly a mother. It doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I had my firstborn, I was very clueless. My mom literally used to have to put her on there would be a pillow and she'd have to put her here, remove my breast and put it in her mouth. I had issues with milk, so
Yeah.
that was also another problem.
Yeah.
And then the partner I was with, when the baby was conceived, was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was happening to me. I didn't like her. I didn't like me. My body felt different. I was fat. I was irritated. I was disturbed. So one day I'm sitting and I'm watching CNN, something I hardly do. And there's this lady who's talking about pregnancy and children, and she touches on postpartum depression. And she explains it bit by bit by bit. And as she's talking, I'm like, tick,
Damn. Yeah.
tick, tick. And then I'm like, so what am I supposed to do? And here in Kenya, Nairobi, you go tell the nurse when they're checking on the baby. That's the worst thing. They're not checking on you. They're only checking on the baby
Exactly.
every month. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a bit depressed. They're like, motherhood, mom.
Yeah, you'll
focus
get
on
through
the
it.
child.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I didn't go through any therapy, but I started reading about how to handle it. I started spending alone time with my daughter. So I began to fall in love with her.
Wow.
So it took a few months, but I ended up falling in love with her the way I think I should have at the beginning, but didn't.
Yeah.
So when I hear people are wanting to get pregnant or they're pregnant, I'm also very honest. I'm like, make sure you take care of yourself in the process, after the process. It's not just about the
Yeah.
child. And we're not told this.
Yeah, the fourth trimester, that's what it's called. And I think a lot of people aren't aware that there's, as much as you're concentrating on your baby, you have to concentrate on yourself. And
So much changes.
so much changes. And also your hormones are completely just dysregulated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like for me personally, I think I went through it twice. I can't really remember with Mali, but I remember with Olive, like, it's not that I felt detached, but I just felt so numb, I think. Like, I personally was very in love with Olive from the get-go, but I also just remember being very numb through life. Like I just having to, it was just a constant go. I remember firstly I went back to work 1 week after
Sorry?
giving birth. Yeah, I went to work because also NGO work.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
So
were busy.
I was, yeah. So I had to go back to work, and I just remember like I was constantly on the go, and I just never really gave myself any like care or affection, and it just got to the point where you just reach this like severe burnout, and you're just like you're crying and you don't even know what. And I think somebody here was talking about it, but there's not even a way to describe it to somebody, because me personally, I also just didn't know what was going on mentally, physically. I just didn't even know how to talk about it. And as you're saying, like it's quite taboo. Like you talk about it, and it's just like,
Yeah.
no, you just got to get on with it. Like you're a mom now. It comes with the territory.
Even telling my mom was like, sorry, I
Yeah.
don't understand what you're talking about. Like, you've had the child. First, she was like, you've had the sex.
Yeah.
You've had the child.
Yeah.
Now, become the mother.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not textbook. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not opening and going to chapter 8. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. And she was like, didn't you want the sex?
Yeah.
Now deal with the situation.
Yeah.
You know that tough motherly
No.
love
And
thing?
it's not only moms. Like, didn't you want to have a child? I've gotten told that before as well by a guy in my gym, and I was like, oh, I'm about to punch your face. Like, of course we want them, but then we don't have control over our bodies at some point. And I even remember with Nova, it was actually very challenging for me because I went through postpartum rage, and that was like I was just so angry all the time. Like my kids would tell me something and I would snap. And I just remember like having a parent coach to like help me walk through my parenting journey at that time, because I literally was so angry and at my kids.
But also, you were going through a breakup.
That wasn't even affecting me. It wasn't that. Like my hormones, I don't know what was going on. I was so angry and I would take it out on my kids, and that was really difficult.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please
So
do.
let's say you get wooed by some good-looking man. He ticks all the boxes, apart from the NGO one. So he's a good guy. Would you have a fourth child?
If they had like $1 billion,
At what?
yeah,
$1 billion.
yeah. Yes, I need full support.
I've said he's good at everything. Would you still have the child?
If they had $1 billion, yeah,
You would probably have a whole nursery.
I would indeed. Yeah,
Yeah, man, you love babies.
I do. Speaking of that, tell us about your dating, single mom dating life. Tell us more about that. Tell us about how that's going.
It's going. It's a good stage in life. Knowing what I want and what I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm happily occupied.
You're okay. That's a good way to put it. And how do you talk about that with your kids? How do you bring that up with your kids?
Bring what up?
That you're happily occupied.
Mom will not be home tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Good for you.
No. The thing is, you need your own life.
Yeah.
So my kids, yes, my oldest, I will tell her I'm seeing someone. She'll even know. She'll be like, Mom, you've been smiling a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, you're in a very good mood. Or I'll get a call and I'll walk out and I'll have my private conversation. I've tried lying to her. It really doesn't work. Like, oh, I'm going for a business trip. Really?
Yeah.
So now I'm open about it. I'm going to so-and-so's. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going for a date. I will see you later.
Amazing.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Occupied. Are you occupied?
Not at all.
Wait for this to land.
Not even going to discuss it. Yeah.
What a gorgeous dining room table. Honestly, if I had space for a dining room table in my home, this would be it. This entire setup is just so pretty. I love it so much. And I could definitely see myself hosting guests with these little cute bowls and mugs. Absolutely love it. What do you guys think about this table?